Well, good afternoon, world of TikTok, wherever you are. I hope you're having a good day, morning, or evening. Anyway, we've got one person here. Happy Woman joined. Hello, Happy Woman. Welcome. Are you feeling happy today? I hope so. So anyway, this live stream today is going to be on advanced, sort of like upper intermediate level English vocabulary. So I hope this is helpful for you. Scroll down a bit. So anyway, Happy Woman says, aha, hi, Happy Woman. All right, so got 6 people here now, wow. Slow day this Wednesday. What is today's date? It's the 5th of August. 2026 is already more than halfway over. Imagine that. Well, anyway, let's begin. Practice your English with me. My name is Sam, and I go live occasionally, trying to help people improve their English communication skills and American pronunciation. Right? I'm from the United States, but I live in Vietnam. Happy Woman says, enjoy your coffee. Thanks. It's actually just water. I've already had my limit of coffee today. So let's see. The first one, number 1, nuance. 2 syllables, nuance. Nuance, right, is a subtle difference in meaning or feeling, right? For example, there is a nuance between being assertive and being aggressive. Happy Woman says, have a lovely day today. Thank you, Happy Woman, so much. I hope you also have a lovely day. My day so far is pretty good. So nuance, right? A very small difference is a nuance. You could say that something is nuanced, right? It has very small details. So there is a small difference between being assertive and being aggressive, right? There's a nuance. All right, moving on. I've got 50 of these today. Happy Woman says, thanks. You're welcome, Happy Woman. All right, we've got 85 people here now. Whoa, 91. Holy cow. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for coming to my live stream. Just going over some upper intermediate vocabulary today. So if you're learning English or if you're trying to improve your English, stick around. Polim says, how are you, sir? I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much. Wow, Happy Woman sent a bunch of gifts. Sheesh. Thank you, Happy Woman. You made me a happy man. So moving on, number 2, ambiguous. Say that with me. M, big, U, us. So it's got 4 syllables. Ambiguous. Put the stress on the second syllable. 1, 2. Big. Ambiguous. I mean, open to more than one interpretation. Right? It's like if something is ambiguous, it means it's not really clear. Right? Not exactly sure how to understand something. Checkmark says hello. Hello, checkmark. So his answer, this is the example sentence, right? Follow along with me if you're practicing your English. His answer was deliberately ambiguous, so he wouldn't commit to either side, right? So imagine a man is asked a question and he does not want to make people on this side angry and he does not want to make people on that side angry. So he gave an ambiguous answer, right? It's unclear how he feels about the thing, right? Therefore, we can say it's ambiguous, right? It's uncertain. His answer was deliberately uncertain, so he wouldn't commit to either side. Polim is a coffee farmer in Indonesia. Cool. Well, welcome, Polim. Please do follow me if you want to. Gabs says, what's the difference between ambiguous and vague? They're very similar. Maybe they're interchangeable. His answer was deliberately vague, so he wouldn't commit to either side. Yeah, vague also pretty much means the same thing. Uncertain, unclear, right? Not committed to one side or the other, right? His answer was vague. It was ambiguous, right? We're not sure how he feels because his answer was unclear. Good job pointing that out, Gabs. I like it. So the next vocabulary word for today, pragmatic. And if you deal with things in a practical way, we could say that you are pragmatic. For example, right, she took a pragmatic approach and focused on what was actually possible, right? She didn't focus on things that don't matter or can't be done, right? She was pragmatic, right? She wants to solve the problem. She wants to deal with the problem, right? She wants to be forward moving and fix the situation, right? She wants to be pragmatic. She took a pragmatic approach. So pragmatic, 3 syllables. Notice how the T is fairly soft. Pragmatic. It's almost like a D. Duh. Pragmatic. Pragmatic. But the emphasis on the second syllable, the stress on the second syllable. Mag. Pragmatic. Got 287 people here. Well, lovely. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for coming to my live stream. How are you today? Tell me in the group chat or send me a message. If you're learning English or if you already know English and want to improve, you could join my school community. $7 a month, but I will provide as much learning materials as I possibly can and help you with your communication skills if that's what you need to do. Checkmark says pragmatic equals struggling. No, I would say it doesn't mean struggling. Pragmatic is more like practical, actually. She took a practical approach. She took a forward-moving approach that will probably work. And so it's good to be pragmatic, right? I want to be pragmatic in dealing with my problems. And I want to face my problems in a smart way, in a way that will probably work. Oh, Monica followed the live creator. Hello, Monica. Welcome. Is that the Monica I know? Anyway, number 4, practice your English vocabulary. Right? My name is Sam. I'm from the United States, and I'm trying to help people improve their communication skills and American pronunciation. And today, I'm just going over some important but upper intermediate vocabulary. So the next word, follow along with me, listen and repeat. Resilient. Resilient means you're able to recover quickly from difficulties. So resilient. So 3 syllables. Stress goes on the second syllable. Zil. Resilient. It's good to be resilient. The example sentence here, read along with me. After the setback, he remained resilient and continued working toward his goal. Resilient means resistant. I would say the words are similar, but not exactly the same. He remained resistant, not quite. Resilient is more like strong and you can recover quickly. Resistant means like you push back, you fight back. WMNFP7RJ says, I look like AI. Well, your name sounds like a robot name. Rebu something sent a heart. Thanks for the heart. Is mean repair. Sort of. The community just teared up. Well, that's a good thing, right? I'm not really sure what it means when the community tears up. But I'm glad it happened, I guess. Sure. Irlanda Rosales says, hi, hi. Checkmark says, you're so handsome. Oh, you think so? I'm just an AI bot. Glad you think I'm handsome. Let's see. Moving on, number 5. Learn some new vocabulary today, if you're learning vocabulary. Next word is subtle. I don't know why there is a B and a T in this word. You don't pronounce the B or the T. It's like a D. Subtle. Subtle. Subtle means not obvious, delicate, or precise. It does mean delicate or precise, right? So the example sentence here, why is Google Docs being weird? Hung Do says, how to improve my words. I think that you should practice shadowing and make flashcards. Flashcards are a good way to learn new vocabulary. Let's see, somebody with no name says, resilient is same as brave. Not the same. I would say that many or most brave people are resilient, but resilient and bravery are different. So subtle is like not easy to notice, right? Something a very small change, right? There was Lom Chun's here. Hi, Lom Chun. Follow along with the example sentence. There was a subtle change in her tone that suggested she was annoyed. Right, so the change in the way that she speaks was very difficult to notice, right? It was not a big change. It was a very tiny change. It was a very subtle change. Lom Chun says, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Lom Chun. Ming Va Za Ding. In here NR equals B2. I don't know what that means. Kubrick, 46. My series is really interesting. Oh, you think so? Thanks. He says hi. Hello, he. How's your day going? Tell me, guys, where are you from? What exciting thing have you done today? Right, I want to get to know you. We've got, 329 people here. Wow, holy smokes. Welcome and thank you for coming. Checkmark says, how many languages can you speak? I speak English, Vietnamese, some German, teeny tiny bit of Spanish. Ming Va Za Ding is in Vietnam. Lovely. Lom Chun says, how are you today? I'm fantastic, thank you. He is in Vietnam. Nasi Bebek is in Indonesia. Irlanda is from Guatemala. Hung Do. Well, it's good that you're writing words down, right? I think that the act of writing on paper will help you remember things, right? Whatever it is you're trying to learn, if you write it down with a pencil on real paper, I think that will help you remember it. Just the act of doing that. Chun Li is from Vietnam. Okay, lovely. Branese is from Kenya. Cool. Nat, also from Guatemala. GTH says, how old are you? I'm in my early 40s. JC just had pho. Lovely. I love pho. I was wondering why I haven't been going live. Yeah, was busy. Last week I catered a wedding. Right? I used to work as a chef years ago. I was a chef for 15 years, and I don't often take chef jobs anymore, but somebody asked me to cook for their wedding, so I did, and it was a lot of work. Checkmark says, bạn nói tiếng Việt thử xem. Okay. Mingzat Vazading says, where are you from? I'm from the United States. Pretty Fox is from Belarus. JC says, Sam knows ball. Is that a question? Don't know what to make that. Art Flows from Ukraine. Well, Privit, my friend in Ukraine. Ming Vazading says, you can speak China. I cannot speak China. Long Chen says, could you speak Vietnamese? Yes, I live in Vietnam. Yeah. Wait, note it down in a notebook. I think that keeping a notebook will help you learn new words. It's at night in America, isn't it? Yes, it is night in America, but I don't live in America. I'm from there, but I live in Vietnam. All right, so moving on. That was subtle. What's the next word? Inherent. Look at the word inherent. Inherent. Stress goes on the second syllable again. Hair. Inherent. Right? Inherent means existing as a natural or permanent part of something. So it's like something that is definitely there, right? Tao. Eng says AI. Are you accusing me of being AI? I'm AI Charlie Puth. You must be new here. If you are new here, welcome. Thanks for coming. Long Chun says, you're very great. Oh, swell. Thank you. Xin cảm ơn Long Chun. Chun. So risk is an inherent part of starting any new business, right? So risk is inherent because it's definitely going to happen, right? If you start a new business, there will definitely be risk. So we could say that risk is an inherent part, right? It is definitely there, can't avoid it. Innate. Basically same meaning, right? Risk is an innate part of starting a new business. Intrinsic, yeah. Lom Chun says, where are you from? Thank you, Cha-Cha, for sending me the gifts. Lovely. Look at all those gifts. Holy cow, thanks so much. I'm going to go to a tattoo parlor today, and I'm going to have them tattoo across my forehead, I'm from the United States. I speak English, Vietnamese, and German. Okay? So that I can save you guys some breath and you won't have to ask anymore. My name is Chris Coach. Okay, well, nice to meet you, Chris Coach. Moving on, number 7, practice your English. Inherent is not a noun, it is an adjective. Tang Ngun says, you said many times. Yes, I get asked those questions like 5 times every live stream. Ami Dafat says, do you see anyone use this verb in here? I don't think that's a word. In here? I've never heard anybody use the word in here. Might be a word. Liv says, please make a sentence using inherent. You know, more often I use the word inherently, right? So I could say that commercial fishing is inherently dangerous, right? Because it's part of the job. Wayne Lily says, you're so funny. Oh, thanks. You talking about how I look? Am I funny looking? Let's see. Concierge Japan's here. Thank you for the heart, Concierge Japan. Konnichiwa. How long do you live in Vietnam? You should say, how long have you lived in Vietnam? I have lived in Vietnam for 8 years. GTH says, can you translate it to Vietnamese so I can easily to approach it, please? Well, because my audience is not only Vietnamese, I don't want to focus only on Vietnamese. Sorry. But I'm sure you could use Google Translate, super easy, or AI. Coach, send a clap clap. Thank you. Clap clap to you too, my friend. Huing Lily says, I guess you live in District 2. No, I don't live in District 2. Why do you guess that? Are there lots of foreigners in District 2? Hello, Teacher Sam, says Concierge Japan. Lovely. Okay. Wow, I can't keep up with all the stuff in the group chat. You guys are chatty today. Celio Costa says, how long have you been teaching English? I started teaching English 8 years ago. I also studied English at university in the United States. Right? I studied mainly literature. Can you give good advice for improving my English? Well, try to learn 10 new words every day. Andre says, hi, dear Sam. Hi, Andre. Thank you, Concierge Japan, for the rose and the TikTok. Paula says, this life is so cool. As a translator, I love this kind of content. Oh, lovely. Thank you, Paula. Hello, my friend there in Chile. So, tangible. Tangible. Right? Put the stress on the first syllable. Tangible. Tangible literally means you can touch it. Peacemaker says, good morning from Uganda. Cool. Uganda is a very beautiful country. I've never been, but I have a friend from Uganda who sends me photos, and it's amazing how beautiful it is there. Have you ever taught to live and teach in Indonesia? I've never been to Indonesia. Not yet. EL English says, hello from Belarus. Are you also an English teacher? What's the toughest word in German to pronounce for you, Sam? The toughest word in German? I don't know. You know, one tough word in German is the word squirrel. Eichhörnchen. That's a tough word. German also likes to put a whole bunch of small words together to make a new word. For example, when I moved to Germany, I needed a visa. So I had to go to the what do you call it? Das Rathaus. And I had to apply for an Aufenthaltsgenehmigung. Like, when I first saw the word Aufenthaltsgenehmigung, I thought, oh my gosh, I will never be able to say that word. It's just too long. What do you think is the hardest German word to pronounce? GTH says, can you give me some tips for IELTS exams? Why don't you check out my school community? I have a module just for IELTS speaking. EL English is a teacher, lovely. Passo dopa passo e Olga says, hello from Italy. Buongiorno, my friend in Italy. How does your water taste today, teacher? Today my water tastes like penguin urine. Let's see. Are you from the south of the US? Your accent is iconic. Really, you think it's iconic? I grew up in Texas, but I don't really have a very strong Texas accent. Salah Saeed says, thanks, buddy. Really, you are a good teacher. Thank you so much. Are you in Indonesia, Salah Saeed? Anyway, let's get back to this. Tangible. Like I said, tangible means that you can touch it, right? It exists in real life, right? So this pencil is tangible, right? I can touch it. It's clear and definite, able to be touched or measured. So the example sentence here, follow along with me. The company needed tangible results before investing more money, right? So the company wanted to see that good things were actually happening, right? Not in theory, not like hopefully something good will happen, right? They wanted tangible results, right? They wanted things that you could measure. Ming Va Zading says, what is the topic writing? Sorry, I don't understand your question. The topic of my live stream today is just learning some new vocabulary words, right? I've got this list of vocabulary and I'm just going through them one by one. So if you're trying to improve your English communication and your American pronunciation, that's what this live stream is. That's what the goal here is for me. Professor Peter from Sierra Leone. Hello, Professor Peter. What are you a professor of? User 906 is my interview next week. I'm very nervous. Give me good advice. Well, I mean, that's a... What are you going to interview for? What kind of job? Number 8, the word is empathy. 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 It's the ability to understand another person's feelings, right? It's good to have empathy, right? It's good to understand how other people feel. Salah Saeed says, teacher, where are you from? I'm from Texas in the United States. Jacob Nguyen says, sympathy versus empathy. I don't know. Hi, and Google D. Like, people ask me these questions. It's like, I'm not very smart. Betrizi says, how are you feeling today? I'm feeling great. I actually feel very, very good. I went swimming this morning. I caught 2 crabs, but they were very tiny, so I let them go. Illusionary says, what does the suffix pathy mean? Pathy actually comes from the Greek language, and to my understanding, it means deaf. So do with that what you will. Lam Chan says, what's your hobby? I enjoy swimming. Uh-oh, Colin Reed, she kissed your brother. Uh-oh. Beatrice says, send help. Yeah. GTH says, tiếng Việt thầy hay quá. Liv says, could you please make a sentence using empathy versus sympathy? Please have sympathy for me because I'm not very smart, right? If I say, please have empathy for people who are in need, right? Have empathy for the people who suffer in life. The other sympathy, I don't know, similar meaning. I bet ChatGPT could give you a really good explanation for that, though, right? I'm AI, but I'm not a very smart AI. Nay says, where do you live? I live in Nha Trang, Vietnam. Where do you live? Nay. Lam Chun says, me too. You too what? I kind of got lost, sorry. Lam Chun loves the beach. Oh, yeah, the beach is great. What's your nationality? I'm from the United States. Oh, empathy for the crabs. Yeah, have sympathy for the crabs because I caught them. But because I have empathy, I let them go. Ming Va Zading. I'm still from the United States. Holy Smoke's here. Hi, Holy Smoke. All right. Good leaders show empathy when dealing with employees under pressure. Okay. Moving on, the next word is empathy, an adjective. Empathy is a noun. Empathetic would be an adjective. Go says, have lunch yet, bro? Yes, I have had lunch. Bartek, you can find this document in my school community, which costs $7 a month to be part of. So anybody can access this and all sorts of other documents, videos. My IELTS toolkit is in there. Let's see. Q Ming says, you like Brimstone and Valorant. I have no idea what that means, Q Ming. Sorry. Lam Chen says, have you ever visited Japan? Yes, I have visited Japan several times. I love Japan. Have you been there? Are you there now? Why do you choose to live in Vietnam? I came here, it's a long story. It involves a woman. But I love living in Vietnam. It's a very good place to live for me. Skeptical, right? Not easily convinced, having many doubts. Having doubts. Right? It means you're not sure if you believe something, right? If you're skeptical. Right? Let's try to think of let's just use the example here. Practice your English with me. Many people remain skeptical about claims that sound too good to be true. Right? So if you're skeptical, you don't quite believe it. Right? You're not sure if the thing is true or not. Cassandra Toledo's here. Hello, Cassandra Toledo. How's your day going or your evening? Ming Vazading says, do you want to go to Vietnam? I'm in Vietnam right now. I have lived in Vietnam 8 years. Yes, Cassandra, I missed you. Where have you been this whole time? Priya Sharma, hi, could you help me with the IELTS exam? Send me a private message. Join my school community if you're wanting to improve your English and do better on the IELTS test. My IELTS toolkit, if you do all of the things in my IELTS, it's like an app. And I promise that if you do all of the things in it, your IELTS score will get better. If it doesn't, and you did all of the things, then I will give you your money back. Holy Smoke says, we are skeptical towards politicians. Yes, indeed. Very skeptical of everything any politician ever said. Lam Chen has been to Japan 20 years ago. Okay. Valoriance says, hello teacher, what's the difference between convincing and compelling? I would say they are close to being interchangeable, right? He gave a very convincing argument. He gave a very compelling argument. I would say that convincing means that you will believe something. And compelling is more like you will take action, right? I was compelled to buy a new t-shirt, right? The man convinced me to buy the t-shirt, but I was compelled to buy a t-shirt because my old t-shirt was dirty. Dam Nam Zoe. Yes, Dam Nam Zoe. How many languages have you learned? German, Spanish, and Vietnamese. Jacob Winton says, I bet you love the heat and weather here. Yeah, the weather's pretty nice in Nha Trang. Fat Cow says, can you speak Vietnamese fluently? So. Bình thường. Oh, shoot. To is here, everybody. Toto Ikabua. Let's see. The weather in Nha Trang today is cloudy, but not too hot. It rained yesterday. I don't know if it will rain today. That's the weather forecast. That's the weather report from here in Nha Trang, Vietnam. Priya, need to improve by 0.5 to meet my immigration requirement. Oh, where are you going to move to, Priya? Cassandra says, le gusto mucho usar barba. Are you saying, how do you feel about the beard? I almost shaved the beard today. Do you like the beard? Keep it or leave it? Maybe it makes me look too old. I don't know. Sometimes I like a beard, sometimes I don't. All right, so many people remain skeptical. Oh, you're in Canada, eh? Okay, cool. Let's see, have you ever been to Vinguala? No. Could you scroll down? Scroll down, is that enough? Oh, here we are. Here's the word compelling. Look at that. GTH says, Nha Trang and Da Nang, definitely the best places to live. Yeah. Cassandra likes me with no beard. Prefiero sin barba. Okay, well, I'll shave it one of these days just for you, Cassandra. Okay? So compelling. Wear a beard? I would say I have a beard. I grew a beard, and maybe you could say wear a beard. Wear is usually for things that you could take off, like a shirt, you know? Anytime, Toto. Love collaborating with you. Compelling, convincing, or attractive in a powerful way. Sid Avocado wants me to keep the beard. Uh-oh. Long Chun says, what do you think about Vietnam? I think Vietnam is rất tuyệt vời. It's wonderful here. I love Vietnam. So compelling and convincing, very similar in meaning. She made a compelling argument that changed everyone's mind. Yeah. Cassandra, am I following you yet? Oh yeah, I am. Long Chun says, thanks. Thanks for what? Thanks for loving Vietnam. Are you responsible personally for Vietnam being a wonderful place, Long Chun? Is that the deal? Next up, practice your English. Illusionary says, off topic, but you should hold a poll for shaving the beard or not. How do I make a poll? Let me see. Poll. Well, when I click the poll button, nothing happens. Why isn't it working? Nothing is working. Oh, wait, here we go. Treasure box, no. Poll. Select the type of poll. I don't know if I've ever done a poll before. Oops, where'd it go? Sorry, give me one moment here while I learn how to use TikTok all over again. Well, it looks like I can't. Oh, here I can. Here we go. So, let's see. Shave the beard, yes or no? Start. Okay, can you see the poll? I started the poll. I don't know if it's possible to see it or not. Let's see. Lots of people commenting in the group chat. So, compelling, we could say that compelling means persuasive, yeah. She made a compelling argument. She made a persuasive argument. Rainy says, what time do you live stream every day? I try to live stream starting at 11 a.m., but lately I've been busy, so I don't know. It's my live streams are kind of all over the place lately. I've not been keeping a very good schedule. Unavoidable, inevitable, pretty much the same thing, yeah. Inevitable is like bound to happen, yes. GTH sees it, but don't have coins to vote. Oh well, it's okay. You don't have to vote. What do you do as in what job? I do various types of my own business. I do some media stuff. Sometimes I work as a private chef. I have worked as a teacher, lots of stuff. Inevitable, certain to happen, right? If something is inevitable, it is definitely going to happen. Right? It is inevitable that it will, I don't know, rain later this year. Beacherzy. I wish I knew how to say your name. Beacherzy? Beatrice? Like, how do I say your name? Beacherzy? You think I'm cool? I'm not very cool. User12 sent a clap clap. Thank you, User12. Bravo to you, my friend. Slow clap. How do you distinguish between suspiciously and suspectedly? The man was walking down the street suspiciously, and he was suspectedly the robber. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a great question for Google. Zara is here. Hi, Zara. Welcome. My name is Sam. I'm from the United States, trying to help people improve their English communication skills and American pronunciation. So here we have the example sentence. With the current trends, some form of change seems inevitable. Inevitable. 5 syllables for that word. Inevitable. It's definitely going to happen, right? With the current trend, some form of change seems like it's definitely going to happen. Next up, Versatile. Let's look at the word versatile. Versatile. 3 syllables. Versatile. Right? Notice the T is very soft. It's like a D. Right? It's not versatile. You could say that, I suppose, but I say versatile, which means able to adapt to many different functions or situations. Right? It can be used for many things, or it can do many things. Right? He is a versatile employee who can handle both technical and client-facing tasks. Lam Chun says, have you been living in Nha Trang or Hanoi? Well, I lived in Hanoi for many years, but now I live in Nha Trang. You look very convincing as an English tutor. Oh, you'd like to learn English with me? Well, there's an online community that's $7 a month to join if you want to learn English with me and support my channel. Versatile and flexible, same meaning. Not quite. Versatile means that it can be used for many different things. Flexible literally means that it can bend. Like, I don't know how to say versatile in Vietnamese, but flexible is linh hoạt. Yeah. Very adaptable, right? Very versatile. You could say AI is versatile, right? It can do many things, right? It can translate languages, it can whatever. So number 13. So depending on how this word is used, it will actually get pronounced differently. So in this case, articulate is an adjective. Right? I would say he is very articulate. Articulate. Right? Again, that's an adjective. Right? Let's look at the example real quick before I go on. She is highly articulate and can explain complex ideas in simple terms. Right? But as a noun, it's articulate. She articulated the problem well. Right? So this word, it can be an adjective or a verb, but the pronunciation is slightly different. Right? She is articulate. She can articulate the problem well. Articulate, articulate, right? Different pronunciation if it's a verb or an adjective. Mai Nguyen says, Hoạt ngôn. That's versatile. Hoạt ngôn. Apparently in British English, you say versatile. Okay. Mew Nam Tip says, how would you learn advanced English without making it feel like memorizing? I get bored so fast. I would say find somebody that you think is very interesting, like a podcaster or somebody on YouTube, and practice shadowing them. I think that's one good way. Unfortunately, you kind of have to memorize a lot of different words if you're learning a language. That's not really interesting, but there's not much else to get out. Not a lot of ways to get around that. Anyway, moving on. Okay, next up, diligent. Diligent, so 3 syllables. Diligent, showing care and effort in one's work. His diligent preparation paid off during the important presentation, right? He was very diligent. He did all the things that he was supposed to do. Faliorance says, I think the best way to learn English is actually not to learn it. Thank you for that very intelligent comment. Jim Carey says, shadowing is really useful. Yeah, I think so too. Anna Maria says, hi teacher, good morning. Hello, Anna Maria. How's it going? Why did my computer just make that noise? Oh, somebody's calling me. If you're calling me, I'll get back to you later. Curious who's calling me. Good morning to you, Anna Maria. All right, so let's see. Greetings from Hungary. Hello. All right, diligent may be understood. It could be understood. understood as educated may it not. Not quite educated. I mean, if you want to be well educated, you should be a diligent student, right? If I say he's a diligent student, it means that he studies hard and he does all of his homework. Somebody says, hello from Uzbekistan. Hello, my friend in Uzbekistan. Mai Nguyen says, what does pay off mean? Pay off means that you got good results from something, right? All the hard work paid off, right? I worked very hard and I got something special because of the hard work. So I could say the work paid off, right? It was successful. It had gaketgwa. Oh, Jim Carrey's also from Uzbekistan. Cool. Lots of Uzbekis people. Candid. Candid is just like honest. If I say, I want you to be candid with me, right? Be honest with me, be direct with me, right? Even when the truth is uncomfortable, right? Sometimes in English people will say, the truth hurts, right? Long Chun says, I'm sorry, I have one question. How about Arizona? What would you like to ask about Arizona? It's one of the 50 states of the United States. What would you like to know about it? It's hot and dry in Arizona. It's one of the southern states, southwest states. No one says candid, but boomers know it. Yeah, candid is not a word that I ever use in normal conversation. I mean, you should know the word, but you're probably not going to need this word often. Ortiz says scorpions. Okay. JC says candid camera. JC, how old are you that you know what candid camera even is? Sand Magician says, you think there are UFOs in Area 51? I don't really think so, but one of my close friends believes everything about UFOs. And it drives me crazy to talk to him because he's always like, hey man, aliens are real. So I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but a lot of people believe that there are UFOs in Area 51. Let's see, move on. Discreet. Well, here's a word that I actually do sometimes use, not super often, but definitely should know what this word means. If you do something discreetly, it's kind of like secretly, right? You're careful not to attract attention or reveal private information. Tony Doe says, hi, how can I remember new words? I practiced them, but I forgot them. If you're learning new words and you want to remember them, I recommend that you write them down on paper. This action will help you remember. Also, practice new words before you go to sleep. Right? Instead of scrolling TikTok and Instagram for hours before you go to sleep, practice some new vocabulary on paper. Candid and sincere. I would say that sincere is a more positive word. Right? Please be sincere. Please be candid. Right? Candid is more like maybe you're talking about something that's uncomfortable. What are the weather and life like in Arizona? I have not spent much time in Arizona. I've been through it. The weather is hot and dry. People in Arizona are friendly for the most part, I think. Lots of Mexicans in Arizona. I have nothing against Arizona. So discreet. Right? Please be discreet about this matter until everything is finalized. So it's almost like it's a secret. Right? Be discreet. Don't tell everybody everything. Right? Be a little bit secretive about it. Be discreet. Boy, this is going a lot slower today than I thought. We're only at number 17. I'm going to have to leave here in about 15 or 20 minutes. So I'm not going to get through all 50 like I intended. So, number 17. How many people do we have here? Wow, 356. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. Thanks so much for coming. My name is Sam. I'm from the United States, and here on these TikTok lives, I've tried to help people improve their English communication skills and American pronunciation. Today I'm going over some vocabulary words that are sort of like upper intermediate level, sort of like C1 level-ish. If you'd like to support my channel, please join my school community. There you can get all sorts of stuff for learning and teaching English, recordings, tools that I made at $7 a month. So send me a private message if you're interested in that. Larchick says, are you a teacher? Sometimes. Lakhdar Uja says, bonjour, bonjour. Anna sent a heart me. Thank you, Anna. Lovely. Are you a discreet person, Sam? If I was discreet, I probably would not be going live on TikTok for the whole world to see me. Meow Meow says, you speak Vietnamese. Yep, I can. Ortiz, I want. Well, send me a private message, Ortiz, if you'd like to join my school community. Oh, look at that. Zoom Dio Vlog is here. Hello, Zoom Dio Vlog. Thank you so much for the rose. Sandrine says, hello from Paris. Hello, bonjour. So impulsive, right? Somebody said impulsive buying. Making an impulsive decision under pressure can lead to regrets later. Let's see, Seri Nikituk says, hello from Ukraine. Privit, my friend in Ukraine. Thank you for the heart. Zoom Dio Vlog. You are sweet. Xin cảm ơn. Illusionary says, what's your IELTS? Well, I'm a native English speaker, so I've never taken the IELTS test. I bet it would be more than 4, though. What's your IELTS? Somebody else from Paris is here. Zoom Dio Vlog sends clap clap. Bravo to you, Zoom Dio Vlog. Le ha me vade says, hello, Sam. Hello. BMW says, hello from Lviv, Ukraine. Privit, my friend. Dang Quang says, hello from Vietnam. Hi. So, impulsive. Making an impulsive decision. So, impulsive would be an adjective, right? But you could also say impulse, like impulse buy, right? I bought something impulsively, right? Because I decided at that moment, right? When I went to the store, it was not my idea beforehand to buy a pencil. But when I was at the store, I saw the pencil and I thought, wow, that is the most beautiful pencil I've ever seen. I'm going to buy it right now, right? So that was an impulsive decision. I did not think about it ahead of time. Anna sent to go popular 3 times. Thank you, Anna. Sand Magician says, hello from Budapest. Hello, my friend in Budapest. Meow Meow is really surprised about my Vietnamese. Well, I live in Vietnam and have for 8 years, so should learn the language, right? Next up, just practicing some vocabulary today. Are you looking for a Vietnamese or a VA bookkeeper? A virtual assistant? I don't feel like I'm looking for a bookkeeper. What could you do for me as a bookkeeper? What would I need a bookkeeper for? Maybe I need one. I don't know. Tell me about it. How could a bookkeeper help me? So 18, perceptive. 3 syllables, perceptive. Perceptive. Put the stress on the second syllable. Sep. Perceptive. Lakhdar says, what does it mean, English natives? Well, if you say Native American, people are going to think that you mean the indigenous peoples of the American continent. But usually when somebody says a native English speaker, what they mean is that that person was born and raised in a country where they speak English, right? So like your mother tongue is your native language. Le ha me va de says, do you travel Vietnam? I live in Vietnam. Yolia Drchenko says, hello from Fastiv, Ukraine. Privit. Mav says, keep books, duh. What a intelligent comment that is. User 327 is a polyglot. How do I seek work there or something like? Yeah, I'm not sure. Why don't you try doing live streams? Maybe you could have some success there. Lele Anh Thư, hello, I'm Vietnamese from Janpan. Where's Janpan? Der Rhein-Kollege says, hello from Germany. Guten Morgen, mein Freund in Deutschland. Als ich jünger war, ich habe in Deutschland gewohnt für ein paar Jahre. Photocrew says, hello. Hi, Photocrew. Dzień dobry, Sam. Sorry, I don't speak Polish. Ich kann gar kein Polish. Hello from Kazakhstan. Hi, friend in Kazakhstan. I've got somebody from Ghana here. I've got people all over the world. Kwiansakebut says, can you summarize all the words I've just joined? No, I can't. Sorry, but I can share the document with you if you want. $7 to join my community for a month. But you get all the documents and all the stuff. Got somebody from Serbia here. Ciao from Italy. Buongiorno. Hi from Russia. Zdravствуйте. Hala from Truyen Quang. Somebody else from Ukraine. Lots of Ukrainians today. We've got somebody from Moldova. Hello, Anna. And a person from Chile. Lovely. Jeffrey, thank you. So perceptive. If you're perceptive, it means you're good at noticing. Did my video stop? Can you see me? Huh. Maybe my phone died. Oh, there we go. Can you see me now? All right, we've got Azerbaijan, Kyrgyzstan, Ethiopia. Sheesh. Can you see me now? Okay, yes, great. I don't know what happened with my camera. Perceptive, right? You're good at noticing. If I say you're very perceptive, right? That's a good thing, right? You're smart. You can see things. You notice things. You understand things, right? For example, she is very perceptive and often notices details others miss, right? She's good at noticing things. So somebody asked me earlier to run a poll. I can't see what the poll, I don't know where the poll results are. Has anybody voted? Oh, there have been 0 votes in the poll. Okay. All right, doesn't matter. Yeah, so perceptive means you're good at noticing things. Here's a good word. Tactful. Tactful means careful not to offend or upset others. So tactful also means kind of like strategic. Right? It's not quite the same as tactical, right? Tactful, right? You should have tact. Right? If you have tact, that means that you're very good at dealing with situations in a way that does not make people angry or offend them, right? So I have to be very tactful during my live streams because sometimes somebody will come in and they'll say something super rude and I cannot be rude back to them, right? I have to be tactful. Yep, guys, like dilemma. Grinsakebut says, where would you share this document? This document is available in my school community. If you want to support me and join, it's $7 a month. You get this document and all the other documents, videos, apps, all kinds of stuff. Duan says, hello, bro. I'm not your bro, but hello. Detox, what a name. Is there any source where I can find a file with this words? Let's see if I can reply to this comment. DM me if you would like to join my school community and get access to all documents. Dragon Warrior says, I still don't understand tactful. Tactful means that you're kind of like, you're very calm, right? If somebody is very rude to you, it's important to try to be tactful, right? There's a saying in English that says that you should never argue with an idiot because people might not tell the difference, right? So like if somebody's very rude to you and you act rude back, that's going to make you look bad now, right? So you should be tactful. I hope that's helpful. Probably not. Betsy Torres, where is your accent? Well, I grew up in Texas in America, so I have an American accent. Emotional intelligence? Yeah, perhaps. Tactful could be high EQ. Patient? Yes, I would say that if you're tactful, right, you should be patient. That's right. Sometimes it's very difficult to be patient with people. So you should try to have tact and patience with people who are unpleasant. Laurita sent a heart. Thanks, Laurita. Where are you from, my friend? Sorry, losing all of my things. Fluffy Doo sent a rose. Thanks so much for the rose. So next up, 20, ambivalent, having mixed or contradictory feelings. I would say ambivalent I usually think of ambivalent as meaning you don't care. If you say, hey Sam, how do you feel about sports? I would say, I feel ambivalent about sports, right? I don't care about sports. Diplomatic, yes, yeah. Tactful, diplomatic, that's good. I would say that ambivalent just means you don't really care. She felt ambivalent about the job offer because of the long commute. So a commute means you have to drive far to get to the job. So she doesn't really want the job. She doesn't care about the job. She's ambivalent, right? Next up, 21. Wow, look at that. Sheesh, got 440 people here. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for coming to my live stream. My name is Sam. I'm from the United States, and I'm trying to help people improve their English communication skills. Going over some vocabulary today. The next vocabulary word for today is coherent. Coherent. Put the stress on the second syllable. Here. Coherent. Right? Logical and consistent. Easy to understand, right? I want to be coherent. Right? I want you to understand me. If I am incoherent, it means I'm saying things that it's impossible to understand. Keen says, is ambivalent like meh? Yeah, ambivalence like meh. Dragon Warrior thinks I'm really cool when I say English with my accent. Well, it's just my accent, you know? Lam Chun says, how old are you? I'm in my early 40s, not a young man. Mia says, how many words are we going to learn today? Well, I have to leave soon. I have 50 words in this document, but I'm probably not going to get to all of them. Nun says, what's today's topic? Today's topic is 50 upper intermediate vocabulary words in English. So right now we're on coherent, right? His explanation was clear and coherent, right? We could understand his explanation because it was coherent. It was understandable, right? If I say his explanation was incoherent, it means that you cannot understand it, right? Incomprehensible. Got Samar from Pakistan. Lovely. Lele and Tuz. Do you have Instagram? I do. I do have Instagram. I almost never use it. Can I share Instagrams here? So my Instagram is Sockeye Samuel, right? If you go on there, you're going to see a bunch of pictures of me holding fish and stuff because I used to be a commercial fisherman during the summertime, right? In the past, every summer, I would go to Alaska for 3 or 4 months and catch fish to sell them. So you're going to see that stuff on my Instagram. Sockeye is one of the 5 species of salmon in the Pacific Ocean. Exo says, what do you think about accent reduction, especially in the American accent? I'm not sure how to answer that question. If you have an accent, I don't think it's a bad thing to have an accent as long as people can still understand you, right? As long as you're still coherent, right? Like when Vietnamese people speak English and they have an accent, like it's not a bad thing. It's kind of cute. Lam Chun says, do you like soccer? I am ambivalent towards soccer. I do not care about soccer. I know that most people do. Kong is here. Hi, Kong. Sir, how I can pronounce exactly accent and action? If you're trying to improve your accent, you should do shadowing practice. Ayana says, teacher, what to do if I know most of B2 C1 words, but I can't link them in one sentence and write an essay? Well, you know, you must practice, right? I say this all the time, and it's not a very interesting answer, but for example, if you want to become good at basketball, it's probably not going to help you too much to read a book about basketball, right? The best way to get good at basketball is playing basketball a lot. English is the same way. You want to get good at it, you must practice it a lot. Victor Eduardo, hi from Brazil. Hello, my friend in Brazil. The accent is very normal when it's not your maternal language, okay? AA says, why he kinda? It's an incoherent question. Gigi says, what are you doing exactly? I'm building a house for my pet penguin right now. That's exactly what I'm doing, Gigi. What are you doing right now? Kong likes the facial hair. Thanks. So, concise. Right? Giving a lot of information clearly in a few words, right? It's good to speak concisely. Right? Please keep your summary concise so that everyone can follow easily. Right? Be exact. Be as exact as you can. Be as concise as you can. Kath sent a clap. Thank you, Kath. Lovely. Okay. What's next? Oh, Alinka Malinka. Hello from Ukraine. Privit, my friend in Ukraine. I hope you're doing well. Anna says, is it like precise? Concise and precise, yeah, I'd say they're similar. Do they mean the same thing? Perhaps. I don't know. Teacher, can you read again the sentence, his explanation? All right, listen one more time. Where was that? His explanation was clear and coherent, which made the issue easier to resolve. Alinka Malinka says, where are you from? I'm from the United States. Texas, specifically. So moving on, number 23, credible. So 3 syllables, credible. Credible means able to be believed or trusted. Right? The report needs credible sources to support its main claims. If I say the what's the word? The evidence was not credible. Right? It means it's not, you can't believe it. Right? I want you to give me a credible explanation. Right? Give me an explanation that is believable. TR2 says, do people actually use these words? Yes, of course people actually use these words. What, like, you think there's like a set of words in English that like nobody uses? Like they just made it up to be fun? Let's see. Tanza Shashumi says, where can we get these, how can we get these vocabulary? This document and all other documents can be accessed in my school community. Please send me a private message if you would like to join my school community. It's $7 a month. You get everything. Somebody says, Linka says, you like my eyes, huh? Well, thank you. So credible. Give me a credible explanation. Give me an explanation that I can believe. $7, yes. $7 to join my school community and get access to everything and learn English with me. That's a month. So, where are we? Number 24, decisive. Again, 3 syllables. Stress goes on the second syllable. Sice. Decisive. Decisive. Right? Able to make a decision quickly and confidently. Lulu939 says, hello, teacher. Hi, Lilu. Welcome. Thanks for coming. So in a crisis, a decisive leader can prevent confusion and delay. right? If something goes really wrong, right? If there's a huge problem, we need somebody to be decisive. We need somebody to find what needs to be done and to do it. Right? If you are indecisive, it means you cannot make a decision. Right? It's not good to be indecisive. You should be decisive. Alex Filiuk sent a TikTok. Thank you, my friend. King Yu, are you an English teacher? Sometimes I teach English. Kath says how it works. Well, my school community is like a private area where you can chat with other people. There's lots of like electronic books and recordings, lessons. There's an IELTS app for practicing IELTS. Speaking, that is, only speaking. Unknown7 says, are you American? Yes, I am from the United States. Where are you from, Unknown7? Hello, teacher, I have learned from since this year. Well, full stop. Welcome. Thanks for coming. So maybe I will go to, I don't know what number I will go to today, but I have to leave soon. Wow, it's already late in the afternoon. So, eloquent. Salamika says, hi from Ukraine. Hello, B. Salamika. Привіт. So here we are on eloquent. Eloquent. 3 syllables. Right? It's good to be eloquent. It means fluent and persuasive in speaking or writing, right? If you are very good with words, you could say you are eloquent. Right? I could say the man was a very eloquent speaker. Right? When he spoke, he used all the right words. Somebody says, where are you now? I'm at my home in Nha Trang, Vietnam. Ariel B says, hi, teacher. Hi. Somebody says, what do you do for a living? Why do you want to know what I do for a living? Got somebody from Greece. Hello, my friend. M. Misona says, good day, sir. Good day to you, madam. What do you do in your free time? I go swimming in my free time. I also like to cook. I was a professional chef for 15 years. I'm very passionate about food. Moving on. 26. Frugal. Only 2 syllables. Frugal. Means you're careful with money and you avoid waste. Even with good income, she remains frugal and avoids unnecessary spending. Right? So frugal is a positive word. Right? If I say she's a cheapskate, that's a negative word. But if I say she is frugal, it means that she's careful with her money. She tries not to waste money. Somebody says, if you have a chance to go to Hanoi, we might meet together. Well, I lived in Hanoi for 8 years. I only recently moved to Nha Trang. Karina says, why Vietnam? Are you traveling for work? I live here. I just enjoy living here. It's a nice place to live. Food's good. The people are friendly. Is that a bot, you think? Anyway, frugal. Careful with money. And next up, 27. Genuine. Genuine. 3 syllables. Genuine. Real and sincere, not fake. His apology seemed genuine, so the team was willing to move forward. So they thought that, right, he's probably not lying. Right? He's probably saying things that are true. So he seemed genuine. Group chat is just popping off. What is the difference between ambivalent and ambiguous? Ask Google. Have you ever been to Georgia, the country? No, I've not been to Georgia. No. Classic number 10 says, where you coming from? I'm from the United States. What do you suggest to build a good vocabulary? Well, when I learned languages, right, I learned German and Vietnamese, I made flashcards. And I tried to learn 10 new words every day. Right? Make flashcards on paper. Writing things will help you remember it. And take those flashcards with you everywhere. When you're waiting for your coffee, don't open Instagram. Take out your flashcards and learn 10 new words every day. That's my advice. Fakey sent a rose. Thanks. Is it possible to speak English in 3 months? Maybe, if you work really hard. Lecho says, hello from Ukraine. Привіт. Andy Vu says, can you speak Vietnamese? Yes. Classic number 10 says, can you speak Vietnamese fluently? Not quite fluent, but pretty good. Karina says, is it possible to learn French faster than Chinese? I don't know French or Chinese, so I'm sorry, I don't know, Karina. King Yu says, well, I followed you. Thanks for the follow. Frugal is same as save money. Well, save money would be a verb. Frugal, F-R-U-G-A-L, is an adjective. Emily, an example with frugal, right? I would say, when you go to the market, please be very frugal and don't spend too much money. Somebody says, what do you think about Africa's English? I don't know. I think Africans speak English with a cool accent. Priya, sorry for many questions. Well, lots of questions today. How to improve speaking? Well, practice. Sorry for the boring answer, but practice is the only way to improve speaking, right? Shadowing practice is a good way to do it. Somebody says, what was 22? Man, you guys are making me work today. 22 was concise. Where are you based? I'm based in Vietnam. What number was I even on? Humble? I guess. 28, right? Practice your English, learn new vocabulary words. Humble, right? Not proud or arrogant. Modest. Right? It's good to be humble, right? Don't be arrogant, be humble. Despite his success, he remains humble and open to feedback, right? He does not, he's successful, right? He did good things, but he doesn't think that he's too great. Tough 210 says, are you humble? I don't know. I try to be. Do you think I'm humble? This word file in WhatsApp group. No, this word file is not in the WhatsApp group. It's in the school community. Yes, humble, unpretentious. Yes, yes. Win Chun, thank you. I think I'm humble. Somebody asks for private lessons. I don't have any private lessons right now because I hate teaching English, right? Part of the reason that I go on live streams like this is because I'm trying to teach the whole world English so that nobody asks me again for English classes. I could help you find a teacher, or maybe I could set up a new class, but I don't really have any classes right now that I teach live. I just do these live streams. Somebody says, I absolutely love the series, The Dutton Ranch. It's about life in Texas. Okay, cool. Thank you, Alex, for the heart. So maybe I'm not very humble. Moving on. Next up. Practice your English. Learn some new vocabulary words with me. 27. One more time. Genuine. Genuine. Real and sincere, not fake. Who would you recommend for private classes? I could ask some of my friends who are English teachers here in Vietnam. I don't know who I would recommend right now. There is, you probably have seen this woman. She's an American. Her TikTok name is like Ms. B, or English with Ms. B or something like that. She's very beautiful and she speaks very well. And I think she does online classes. Pretty sure she does classes. She's gorgeous. She should check out her classes. She has like over 100,000 people follow her on TikTok. Wait, and Mute Tang says, do you have any file of this vocabulary? Well, yeah, I have the file that I'm looking at right now. Yeah, I can't remember that woman's name. It's something Ms. B, M-I-Z-Z-B, or yeah. But she's from America. Her speech is just incredible. So 29, insightful, showing deep understanding of a situation. Her insightful comments helped the team see the problem differently, right? It's clear that she understands exactly, right? So her comments were insightful. They were very intelligent. Karina says, America is a continent. Yes, There are 2 continents called America. That's right, Karina. Mundo Diverso Fati says, hola, hola, amigo. Like profound understanding, right? Yeah. Her insightful comments. Her comments were very insightful. She had a profound understanding. Next up. Tuff says, is this your native speaking speed? Well, if I was speaking to another American, I would be speaking faster and less clearly. And I'm trying to be as coherent as possible because I want everybody to understand what I'm saying. So, yeah, usually when I speak English to another person from the United States, I'll speak faster. Yannick Fischer's here. Guten Tag, Yannick. Full stop says, what's your words you teach C1 or C2? This is like C2 level, I would say. Sei mir gegrüßt, mein Freund. Lovely. Saghar says, hello. Hi, Saghar. Mundo Diverso says, hello, handsome. Hola, guapo. Are you a man or a woman? Guapo or guapa? My happiness is here. Hi, my happiness. Philanthropist. So a philanthropist is somebody who tries to help other people, right? Maybe by giving money to poor people. Right? If I spend a lot of my life trying to help people who are in need, you could say I'm a philanthropist. Yannick says, ich hoffe, es geht dir gut. Mir geht es wunderbar, Yannick. Vielen Dank. Real IELTS exams is here in the live stream. What about a speaking test? Do you speak as fast as the daily conversation? No, I would say that in a speaking test, I try to speak at a reasonable speed. But I also try to speak as clearly as possible. A says, you stream at fixed time or flexible time? I try to live stream at the same time every day, but lately I've been busy, so it's not very fixed. Mundo Diverso says, where are you from? I'm from the United States. We've got Murnia Girls from Indonesia. Hi, my friend. Karina, so people from the United States will often say they're from America, right? I know that people who are not Americans, for some reason, find that like offensive or incorrect, but it's a very normal thing for people from the United States to say, I'm from America, right? People from Mexico, when they say, where are you from? They say Mexico. They don't say America. People from Canada, when you ask them where they're from, they don't say they're from America. They say they're from Canada. People from the United States, if you ask them where they're from, they will often say America. If you have a problem with that, it's not my fault that people say that. It's just the normal thing. And I know that people from other countries think that, oh my God, you should never say you're from America. But guess what? I'm from America. Mint says, are these vocabularies B1? This is like supposed to be B2. Is meticulous equals scrupulous? I would say meticulous means that you are very thorough. And I would say scrupulous is more like ethical. Did you watch Interstellar? Yes, I saw Interstellar. It was a pretty decent movie. Larita says, how many languages do you know? Let's see, English, some German. My Vietnamese is not too bad. Discombobulated means that something is like maybe broken or rendered topsy-turvy. If I say I'm discombobulated, right, it would mean I'm confused. I don't know what's happening around me. Got Chantal from Belgium. Hi. Can you repeat reading meticulous? Meticulous means extremely careful about details. One more time, nice and slow. The project required meticulous planning to avoid costly mistakes, right? They had to plan very carefully, very meticulously. People are asking, when do I live stream? I usually live stream early afternoon Vietnam time. Lisik asks me what a long word means. No, I don't know what that means. What level of English do these words correspond to? This is like intermediate English. Unknown sent a rose, thank you. How to improve listening skills. I would say find a live streamer or podcaster that you think is really interesting and listen to them. in practice. George Wong says, how about Chinese? What about Chinese? Jumbo Jaden says, what's your favorite block in Minecraft? I've never played Minecraft. Oh, in Spanish, meticuloso. Cool. Ty says, I don't get why people are obsessed with fancy words. Well, they want to be eloquent. Hannah says, hi from New Zealand. Hi, my friend in New Zealand. Adolf Ronaldo. Oh, sheesh. Says ciao. Ciao. Where are we? The scrupulous mean meticulous. Slightly different. Sam suddenly paused for a second. Well, I'm just reading the group chats. Group chats kind of all over the place today. Maybe I'll just do one more. I'm getting tired of all the jerks that are joining. It's funny how some days it's very pleasant. Nothing but nice people. And then other days it's just jerks. Hope from Sweden. Hello, my friend in Sweden. Got somebody from Azerbaijan here. Salam. Hannah says, in New Zealand, we speak with a different accent. Yes, indeed. I really like the New Zealand accent. George Wong says, Dan, you speak Chinese? No, I cannot speak any Chinese. Did I say something inappropriate, Ty? Optimistic. Helpful and confident about the future. Even after the delay, she stayed optimistic about the final outcome. Says, wow, do you know Azerbaijani? Yeah, Azerbaijani people are very friendly. I actually have several friends from Azerbaijan. Hi from Australia, what do you say? Good day, mate. Candace says, do you have a slight accent? I can't tell if it's the way you're speaking. I speak with a generic American accent. I grew up in Texas, but I don't really have a Texas accent. Oh, Ty says, I said the J word. Uh-oh. Well, we'll see if TikTok bans me. Yeah, optimistic. The antonym is pessimistic, right? It's good to be optimistic, right? Be positive about the future. Full stop wants the whole PDF. Please DM me. All right, well, I've about had it for today. Where'd you buy that suit? I bought it in Hanoi. Did I buy it in Hanoi? I can't remember where I bought it. Privyet Yanashk. Timmy, is it free or not? No, it's $7 to join my community. $7 for a whole month. You get all of the documents, all the videos, all the apps, all that stuff. You can just download it once and then never pay again if you don't want to. But to those of you who are not complete weirdos, I hope you have a wonderful day. Ty says, get some rest. Let me buy you some mutton. Oh, sweet, I would love that. New Ray says, at this moment I am learning English. At this moment I am saying goodbye. Nam Sun says, you're in Vietnam. Yes, I am in Vietnam. Well, that's about all I have for today. Maybe I'll see you next time. Have a good day. Take it easy. See you around.